back to Handmade Home. I'm Hester and today we have a little IKEA hack for you. About a year ago I saw this little chair by the side of the road. It's an IKEA Latt chair. They come 2 chairs and a table as a set. And by the time we needed a little chair for Kiki, and I saw it by the side of the road and I thought, perfect! The only thing is the seating was broken, had a big crack in the seating. So I took the seating out and we weaved a little new seating and also painted it pink. Because pink's your favorite color, isn't it? Yeah. The thing is, Kiki helped me paint. She was 2 at the time, and we also used the last bit of pink paint I had in the painting. So it's very thick. So that's what the nicest finished. So Kiki's doing a bumblebee dance. Interesting. But I thought it's time to get this chair another makeover. I don't think the seating is too comfortable for her at the moment. And also, I don't like the look of it anymore. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the seating off. We're going to sand the chair, paint it again, and make a new seating. Took all the yarn off. We're just going to save this for another project. I'm going to give the chair a light sand. So the chair is sanded and I cleaned it, and Kiki had a look in the shed and you chose a paint, didn't you? Which paint did you choose? This one! It is the Rust-Oleum multi-surface spray paint in Candy Pink. But fortunately the spray paint, she can't help me. Should we see if we can do magic? I know, but you're not allowed because it's spray paint. But should we do if we can do magic? No. Paint it. That's all the little help is going to help me with, because it's time for her to go to nursery, and as it's World Book Day, we're going to get you dressed up. What do you want to dress up as, Kiki?
Dress in the room. Put it on.
Put it on. Hello, princess. Wow, you going to dance? Let's go to nursery. So now I need to make the new seating, and what you would normally do, you would just unscrew the screws here, and in the slats here you can just put a bit of MDF or a bit of plywood, slot in there, screw it back together, and your chair is done. But I want to make it something a bit more special, a bit more plush, a bit more, I don't know, lovely looking. So what I'm going to do, I cut a bit of plywood. This is like 9mm plywood, slightly small on the inside of my chair. I'm going to make a little frame just here where this rests on. And then we're going to cover this with some lovely fabric. So for the frame, I just have some scrap piece of timber I found in the shed. As you can see, they're not the same kind of timber, but it doesn't really matter. You just have to have something that your seating can rest on. So I'm just going to glue and nail them just right underneath where the little mark is here for the slat. And then my seating will sit on top. There's not enough space here for my nail gun, so the nails don't go in completely, so it's gonna tap them in with my small hammer. That's my little frame done. Let's see if this fits. Perfect. As you can see, I made it slightly smaller, so there's a little bit of space around it because I'm gonna cover it in the fabric, and I didn't want it not to fit in once the fabric is around it. Also, as you notice, I haven't given you exact measurements of this build because this is just an idea showing you what you could do with the chair that you might have. If you have the same Latt chair, perfect, you can do this. And if you want to know, this is 23 centimeters by 23 centimeters. These are around 22 or 21 centimeters, that bit of timber that I used. But yeah, like I said, it's just an idea of showing you what you could do with a chair and how to make it look a little bit nicer. But now let's cover this bit of timber. To make the seat nice and comfy, what I would normally do is get a bit of foam, just a little bit smaller than this size, stick that on and then cover it with your fabric. But as it's lockdown and the shops are closed and I don't really want to buy anything new, I had to look around the house and see what I could find. And what would be the obvious option would be use a cushion insert. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything that was the right size, and of course I could cut this up and sew it to size, but it's a lot of work. So what I did instead, I have these covers, these little seating pads I made a couple of years ago to try and keep our sofa clean with little baby Kiki. So these are just bits of batting that I put fabric around and then just stitched it really rough. And I just cut one of those up. As you can see, that's the batting inside there. And I cut it slightly smaller than the piece of plywood. I might actually use two, make it super comfy and soft to sit on. So now I'm just going to cover this with fabric. Put a piece of battingy fabric seating pad on there. And then I'm going to cover this. I thought it was fun to try something new, and I had lots of little bits of yarn left. So yeah, I just did some random patterns of punch needling. I'm not going to give you a tutorial for this because I'm not the best punch needler. There's quite a lot of mistakes in here. But if you want more information, have a look. For example, my friend Fran from Fall for DIY is amazing in punch needling, and there are great tutorials to be found on YouTube. So if you want to do the same, have a look on those. But for now, I'm just going to show you this, my little punch needle bit. Of course, you'll need to spend a couple of evenings punch needling like I did. But if you do, great. If you don't, you can use whatever you like. You can use beautiful fabric you have, or maybe a piece of quilt, or a duvet cover, or whatever kind of fabric you have lying around. You could even maybe upcycle some clothes. Whatever has a nice pattern and you think would great on the chair, you can use it. As long as it is roughly 10 centimeters wider and 10 centimeters longer than what you're going to use. So how am I going to attach this? Well, you're going to need your trusty staple gun. So here is my little bit of punch needling. As you can see, I put some glue on the back. It's just to make it a bit more sturdy because I don't want Kiki to start unpicking all these little loops. So I just put a thin layer of Mod Podge on there last night. We're going to put our batting seating pads on top and then our plywood. I'm going to pull this nice and tight around it and give it a little staple. There we go. I'm just going to do this side first. Gonna move over to the other side, pull it as tight as you can. Let me just trim this a little bit, because otherwise we'll have a lot of extra fabric. I'm gonna fold these in and staple in place. Okay, what I'm gonna do, because I don't want Kiki to touch the staples or start unraveling this, I'm just gonna put a bit of Gorilla Tape, gaffer tape on there. Doesn't need to be neat, nobody's gonna see this. This is underneath your seating. Okay, moment of truth, will it fit in? Oh my god, it does! Oh, that is so sweet and such a good upgrade from what it used to be. If this was an adult chair, I would just leave it like this, but as it's a kiddie chair, I don't want Kiki to just keep popping this out. So I'm just going to attach a little bracket underneath to keep it in place. I am so curious what Kiki's going to think of it when she comes back from nursery, but I think it looks so incredibly cute. Kiki? You like it? What do you think? That was so much fun to do. I really enjoyed trying a new craft because I haven't really punch needled before. I've done like little bits, but it was the first bigger piece I did, and it's great to use up leftover bits of yarn. really like the look of this chair, and I hope this video might have inspired you to change up some of your chairs as well. Maybe a kiddie chair or one of your own dining chairs. So much fun to be had by just changing the seat pads. And I punched it up, of course, like I said, you can use a bit of fabric as well, or maybe upcycle even an old duvet cover or some of your clothes. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, because that really helps my videos being seen by more people, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back soon with a new tutorial, and I really hope to see you then.